Enter mode.
You do not see me editing my stuff, I swear. One moment. Hi, Hal. Thank you for the snack. I will have to go grab something I don't have. I am a bit hungry, in all honesty. I just need to grab the audio from the game. Because I presume it's working? Oh. It's not working. Why is it not working? Oh, never mind. Thank you. I now know why it's not working. I don't have my monitoring on. I swear I set this up before. There we are. There we are. Usually it would be fine, but the audio was not wanting to work. So here we are. Yes, we will want a guide. First things first. I shall go grab a snack because I don't have one. But how is everyone? In the meantime, I will be right back. Talk amongst yourselves. Actually, let's use the be right back screen. I have it. Food has been retrieved. So, I'm excited to play this game. I have yet to play it. I don't know much of anything about it. I do know that it's a mystery, sort of novel type. So, that is quite loud. Let's turn that down. That should be okay. And then the neat thing about it is it's a mix of real life photos and footage. So I'm kind of excited to play it. I know very little about it, which is my favorite way to go into games. Just take in whatever it wants to give me. Hi, Nithya. I'll get up.
10, 9, 8,
Excuse my cough, it's still
7.
existent.
6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
It goes well. I'm excited for this game. I know very little about it, which is my favorite way to go into games. So we get to sit through all the cutscenes, because, yeah. I don't know what's happening either. I know it's a visual novel type game that uses like real life photography and videography. So I'm excited for it. And I know there's some mystery to be solved. So it's gonna be neat. Yeah. Other than that, I don't know anything. Yeah, I'm excited. Should be neat. Oh, those subtitles are very low on the screen. Oh, shit. But yeah, that kind of sets out how this is gonna play, so I'm excited. Oh, fuck, it's in my hand? Yeah, that's exactly the vibes this is giving. Excited. As you play through the game, the various mechanics will be explained. Am I clicked into the game? I'm not. No, I am. In 428, you will follow the stories of multiple protagonists at once. Your decisions impact their experiences as you read the story. What does the day hold in store? Their fate is in your hands. Hopefully you can see them all through to the end. To start, you have two characters, Shinya Kano and Akechi Endo. Let's begin by checking out Kano's story. Oh, that's neat. They move. Oh, that's neat. Just 2 more minutes to go. Shinya Kano noted the time again on his watch, scowling at the slow creep of the second hand. The time was 9:58 a.m. Furrows of concert... What? Consternation? Creased his forehead. I don't... What is consternation? Wait. I'm sorry, I need to search up this word now. Is that a word? Consternation. Feelings of anxiety or dismay. Typically, it's something unexpected. Huh. Oh, okay. Yeah, context. Yeah, there's obviously context clues. And then I'm just curious. So press. Oh, that's good to know. Hi, Travis. Scroll ahead. Press. Sometimes appear in upper left corner. Press X while is being displayed to reread the current page. Oh, that's nice. You can go back and go through the text log. That's good to know. I figured that on accident because I accidentally smacked my controller. He wasn't nervous, but he knew better than to expect everything to go smoothly. Keeping a level head was proving rather difficult. There was no room for failure. Lives were on the line here. He eyed his surroundings. Was the perp really gonna show up? When? Where would he be coming from? How would he make his approach? The Shibuya Scramble was as packed as ever. A throng of people crossing this way and that, blissfully unaware of the dozens of detectives hidden in its midst. Alright, another minute and a half. Kano glanced down at his watch yet again. A mere 30 seconds had passed. Detective Kano had been with enforcement's arm. Ooh, I could speak. Detective Kano had been with the enforcement arm of Shibuya's criminal affairs section for a year now, but he'd never been part of an operation as big as this before. He eyed the young woman standing beside the statue up ahead. She was small enough to get lost in the crowd and carried a nondescript attaché case. I feel like I know how this is going to work, and I'm already getting excited. Yeah, no, it's gonna be neat. I'm excited. Hitomi Osawa, age 19. The attaché case in her hands contained a full 50 million yen in cash. Yesterday, her twin Miria had been kidnapped. This was their ransom payment. The culprit had called Hitomi last night at her home, referring to her by name and telling her to wait by the statue of Hachiko in Shibuya. It was almost time, but nothing. Kano was staring fixedly at the second hand on his watch when a homeless man sitting on the sidewalk murmured just loud enough for him to hear. Come on, Kano. Quit looking at your watch so much. What if the kidnapper sees you? Kano tried to look nonchalant as he lifted his eyes, But the scruffy character continued. You're too nervous. Just relax already. You're the one acting suspicious, Sasayama. Kano frowned. Why would some homeless guy be talking to me? Yuji Sasayama was one of the senior officer at Shibuya's precinct's Criminal Affairs Division, 5 years older than Kano. Some words and phrases in text appear in blue. These are called tips. Press X to underline. Press square to underline a tip, then press X. This will let you read some extra info relating to that word or phrase. There are tips containing general knowledge and one that are 428 specific. These are marked with a magnifying glass and a 428 respectively. Official name, Shibuya Central Precinct, responsible for the safety of approximately 200,000 people in 32 neighborhoods. 200,000? I don't know how to read numbers. In 32 neighborhoods, including Uehara, Ugui, Sudanicho, I butchered that, Udawagacho, thank you for the hydrate, Ebisu, Ebisu Nishi, Ebisu Nishi, Ebisumi Nami. I'm not gonna read these. I'm gonna give up on reading these. I'm gonna butcher like half of them. I think you're gonna be dehydrated. Yeah, I'm gonna give in. Well, I'm sure they're good to know. I'm sure we'll have access to this dictionary later. And I'm not gonna remember them either way. He always went a little bit overboard with the disguises. He claimed it was all part of the job, but the word around the station is they just like playing Sterscip. You know what? Me too. What? You can't perfectly pronounce Japanese names? Strange. Nah, be nice to me. You know what happened last time I tried to speak Japanese on stream. You and I both know what happened. Oh, so sorry, I'm just stirring up my curry so I can eat it. I like stirring in the curry with rice. It's just got a good texture. And then you have equal portions rice and curry instead of like a bite that is 90% curry and 10% rice or vice versa. It was something. Hey pal, spare some change? If that's the case, it's weird that non-English people cannot perfectly pronounce English names. Yeah, I know how to eat curry. I love curry. Be it Japanese or Indian. Both are good. Sasayama lurched to his feet and shuffled and closed to Kano. Hey, knock that off. Fittingly for the part, Sasayama reeked pretty badly. Well, ain't suspicious now, huh? He clung to Kano in mock camaraderie, despite the younger man's attempts to pull away. Have I thought of adding peanut butter? I have not yet. I've not done that yet. I've been meaning to try chocolate in curry, because if you get like a really dark chocolate, it's supposed to be really good in curry. Specifically Japanese curry, but I think there's some Indian curries that are also really good with chocolate. English is rocks. English etymology is fucking wild. I love learning the etymology of words in English because they're wild. Come on, Sasayama. Cut it out. Sasayama's blithe confidence rattled Kano's nerves. Of course, there would be a good reason for that confidence. This was Kano and Sasama's jurisdiction, but they were positioned a good distance from where the handoff was supposed to take place. Oh, I can't as much rant on it, because I'm bad at like, there's certain words I know the etymology for, but there's not too many. But I love learning about it, because you're like, where the fuck, what do you mean it came from that? And it's hilarious. And like modern etymology and how quick words are being created and changed is amazing. Anyways, jurisdiction. A particular region over which an organization or member thereof has control or authority. Maybe eating curry at the same time wasn't a good idea because I'm now burping. It refers here to areas under jurisdiction of various police precincts. The Metropolitan Police Department, the Metropolitan Police Department, at the pinnacle of Tokyo's police hierarchy, has vastly more authority than local precincts, but since many officers wind up needing to work with both, the outright rivalry between the two isn't as notable as TV dramas may make it seem. Defenestrate? Defenestrate, is that the one... Is that the word for throwing somebody out a window? Wait. Is it? I feel like that is. Or it's something very similar. Yeah, okay. I do know the word for throwing somebody... Don't ask me why I know that. Please. Am I out of tissues? No. Okay, that's actually unfortunate. Give me a moment. Thank you for taking up the charge on the barrel rolls during the Be Right Back screen. That is just the thing you guys do now. As for why I know that, I saw it somewhere and I don't remember where anymore. And I thought it was really funny, so I just memorized it. Oh, I need to click into the game. The statue of Hachiko was surrounded by... Sometimes two more tips will appear on a single screen. Thank you. The statue of Hachiko was surrounded by elite investigators from one of HQ's special investigation teams. You're right, it does. It's got that vibe to it, just do-do-do-do-do-do. Statue of Hachiko. Bronze statue of a dog erected in 1934. The dog was famous for loyally waiting for his absent master, well known as meetup spot outside of Shibuya Station. Other popular meetup spots at the station are display car for the original Tokyo 5000 series, commonly known as the Green Frog, and the Moai statue by the west entrance. HQ here refers to the Metropolitan Police Department, the Tokyo Police section responsible for managing 101 precincts within the 101 precincts within the city. Japan's largest police organization. In addition to policing Tokyo, it has various other duties and authorities for maintaining public order in the capital. Kano and his partner were just there to provide backup if the kidnapper attempted to flee. Look, just try to relax, we'll be fine. Sasayama gave him a wink, and a moment later the radio squawked in Kano's ear. Alright everyone, it's time. Keep your eyes open. I'm sorry, the fucking field of view. The voice coming through the earpiece with Koji Kuze, HQ's operations director. The individual responsible for directing the investigation and events of a serious crime. If a task force is set up, the operations director is the one who assumes command. TV dramas and other fictional accounts often feature some young prodigy from MPD as the operations director, but in reality, the position usually goes to a proven veteran. Until last year, he'd been in Shibuya's... Oh wow, okay, then he's evil. He's not evil, Ned! He's fine, he's just old. Until last year, he'd been the Shibuya precinct's head detective and Kano's supervisor. We don't know when the perp is going to make contact. Don't let your guard down. Kuze's low, gravelly voice echoed in Kano's ear. You don't sound too worried, Kuze. Kano winced at Sasama's words. How can a man be so nonchalant? Nonchalant. Wow, I can speak. The appointed time had come and gone. Something should be happening. Whap! Kano smacked himself in the thigh to release a little tension. The sound was louder than he intended. Though the suit hid his muscular physique, it did little to dampen the noise. He needed to stay focused. He might be called to action at any moment. The department handled abduction cases, according to a certain standard investigation procedure. Oh, 100%. 100%. I can't read most days. It is my worst enemy, reading. But this is good practice then. That means I can get better at reading aloud, because I obviously need practice. Was it an attempt to extort money? Or was the motive something personal? The answer to that question determined how they'd deal with the criminal. And based on the investigation team's initial findings this time around, they were probably dealing with a professional kidnapper. Oh no. Yes, more practice. Still, in all likelihood, it was someone with quite a long rap sheet. Probably someone who knew the family, but so far they had few leads on who might bear such a grudge. With the situation so unclear, the plan was to apprehend whomever came to make the handoff on sight. If the culprit ran with the money, there'd be no guarantee of the hostage's well-being. Still nothing. Sasayama muttered. Wow. There he is. He's here. Kuze broke in, his voice spiking into an excited chirp. Kuze's particular vocal quirk. Whenever he gets overly flustered, excited, or panicked, he slips into a childish register, prone to babbling and pitching his voice. Subject is a young male in his 20s, wearing a bandana and an orange hoodie. Kuze, normally calm and stoic, was now squawking like an excited child. That only happened when he got particularly worked up. Kano and Sasayama steeled themselves. They could see the subject now. A 20-something male nonchalantly approached Hitomi to talk to her. Alright, people. Be ready to grab this guy. Kuze was stationed in the mobile command center not far from the intersection, keeping tabs on the situation via video surveillance from the camera team. Seriously, he's so evil. Be nice to him, he's old. The young man started speaking enthusiastically to Hitomi. The detectives watched, uncertain. Was this really the kidnapper? Oh, fuck. You mean we have to decide things? You'll encounter selections like these during the story. These choices will change the lives of other people in addition to changing your own fate. Use the arrow buttons and then make a choice. Current choice will not impact you or any of the other protagonists. It's gotta be him. And the situation wasn't entirely clear. Alright, chat. Because we know this current one, do you guys want to make the choice? Or do I have to make the choice? Oh my god, Nith. I would imagine that the game would only... Well, it's a visual novel. I mean, I knew I had to make choices. But oh so. B? Yeah, I'm thinking option B. Situation was still what... The situation still wasn't entirely clear. He needed to get a better look at things. The newcomer held a bundle of letter-sized paper, which he showed to Hitomi as he went on talking. He tried to hand her one of the papers, but she pointedly ignored him. Undeterred, the man kept trying to foist it off on her. Hitomi refused to respond, becoming motionless as the statue of Hachiko behind her, until finally the man gave up and walked away. That's what I thought. Guess it wasn't him. Kano felt the tension of the moment linger in his spine. Guy must have been hitting on her, Saya-sama muttered. Succeeding at meeting someone on the fly like this takes a special knack. Looks are also important. Sometimes, of course, the person trying to get your attention out of nowhere is just trying to make a sales pitch for a project or a nearby establishment. At first glance, it isn't always easy to tell the difference. I mean, she's pretty cute and all. He had a point. Though, of course, something in Sasayama's voice made Kano brace himself. She's got nothing on Mi-chan. Who? Why did the music change? What? Mi-chan was Sasayama's wife. They got married just last month. Aww. Look at their fucking faces. Let me tell you, Kano, married life is the best. He's the guy that loves his wife. Aww. You gotta hurry up and give it a try for yourself. I don't know what the music is. This was Sasayama's favorite topic lately, and Kano was getting more and more fed up with it. Sasayama, come on, just knock it off, okay? The phrase had become a common refrain of his since the department partnered them. Fine, fine. Let's talk about your girlfriend then. Huh? Now? You can't be serious. Sasayama leaned in close again. What's she like? We are not having this conversation. Kano muttered, looking away. Ah, come on. Sasayama set his hand on Kano's chest, still playing the homeless troublemaker. Show me your phone. Let me see your lock screen. Huh? Sasayama pawed for the phone. You've got a pic of your girl in the lock screen, yeah? I do not. But he did. It was scary how on the mark Sasayama's instincts were. Aww. Hey, cut it out. We're in the middle of an investigation. I am investigating. Sasamo chuckled as he plucked the phone from Kano's pocket. Oh my god. Right, Sasayama? His face scrunched up with astonishment as he looked at the lock screen. The heck's this? It's not... Ain't this... Who is this? A national star tends to play the heroine on national morning soap operas or national historical dramas. Her songs have been a series of national hits, and she's even salted to host the year-end national singing competition program. Everything about her is national. Oh. Ain't this Masami Nagahama? Kano realized he had to bite the bullet. No, that's my girlfriend. Her name's Rumi, and she's... Sasayama cut him off. You're telling me this ain't Masami Nagahama, the famous actress? Because this right here is Masami Nagahama. Like I said, you sly old dog. Trying to make like you're dating Masami Nagahama. I'm not. I mean, I guess Rumi does kind of look like her. Sasayama let out a huff. For real? You really think I'm gonna fall for that? There's nothing to fall for, I swear. Sasayama scowled, unconvinced. Alright then, why don't you marry her? Kano stammered, but he had no answer. Truth was, he would have happily married her already, but there were obstacles that need to be overcome. Okay, playtime's over. Let's focus on the job. Sasayama handed back Kano's phone, and his gaze turned back to Hitomi. Kano let out a quick, uneasy sigh, but his shoulders did feel looser. Maybe Sasayama had been trying to relieve a bit of the tension. Maybe he should be grateful. I like them. They're cute. By now, several minutes had passed since the guy with the papers had gone away. He appeared at Hitomi. The strain on her face was visible. In addition to the weight of the Tashe case itself, the 10,000 yen pills it held weighed close to 6 kilos. Her slender arms must have been getting tired. I need to blow my nose again. There we are. Still, she refused to set the case down. She wasn't taking any chances with her sister's life. The kidnapping case had begun the day before, around 7 p.m. This is MPD dispatch. The Shibuya precinct is reporting a missing person, believed to be an abduction. Ooh, that was a weird hiccup. In Japanese law, the act of indirectly luring or deceiving someone into the control of a third party is known as kidnapping. Using forcible threats or violence to achieve the same result is known as abduction. Oh, that's good to know. Subject is Maria Osawa, a 19-year-old student in the Midoriyama Academy, last seen at the LL Diner near campus. A man was allegedly seen forcing her into a car nearby. All officers in the vicinity report to the scene at once. Kano and Sasayama had been working a burglary case in Jingume's 5th district when they got the call. The two arrived at the LL Diner at 7:15 p.m. At roughly the same time, several other officers showed up to secure the area, blocking off entry to nearby roadways and monitoring the surrounding establishments. Inside the restaurant, Kano and Sasayama were met by the girl who had reported the kidnapping. It was the victim's twin sister, Hitomi. Could you tell us about when Maria was taken, starting from the very beginning? Kano said, keeping his voice low. My sister and I, we were supposed to go to a party together today. Hitomi was trembling, her voice hoarse. But I messed up the time. I showed up right at 7, an hour later than I was supposed to. so Maria had gone alone to the party, and a mixer for locals and his exchange students. Hitomi, arriving late, had showed up just in time to glance through the restaurant window and see her sister getting shoved into a car. She described the vehicle as a blue station wagon of Japanese make. Why would something like this happen to her? Hitomi held back her tears, but she was shaking all over. Did you get a good look at the kidnapper? Yes, it was a man, middle-aged. There was another eyewitness, Leland Palmer. He identified himself as a lecturer at Hitomi and Maria's school. Sorry. I saw it too. It's like Hitomi says. I heard Hitomi cry out, so I went to the window to look, and his Japanese was halting, as if he had been in the country very long. And I think that maybe the kidnapper is working alone, Leland explained as he seen the man shove Maria into the back seat, then clamber into the driver's seat. If he had an accomplice, why wouldn't they have been driving? Neither Hitomi nor Leland had gotten a look at the suspect's face. Kano was interviewing others who'd been on the scene, looking for other potential witnesses when his phone rang. It was Yoshio Kajiwara, one of the senior detectives. We've set up a task force for the investigation. Get back to the station once you have a handle on the situation there. Barely a half an hour had passed between the time the kidnapping was reported and the time the task force began operation. Roughly 150 people are working on the case in Shibuya Precinct's conference room. The main force at My hands are not up there. The main force at work is HQ's first Special Investigation Unit. Additionally, other detective sections, a riot squad, and investigators from neighboring precincts have been assembled. When Kano and Sasayama had got back to the precinct station, Kuze had already arrived from HQ. He informed them that a response team had been formed to investigate the victim's home. In a case where someone has been abducted for ransom, it is often difficult to resolve the situation without cooperating with the victim's family, but the family can also be a hindrance in making an arrest. To help guide the family's actions, a response team is assembled and stationed at the victim's home, led by an investigator with proper training. Kano could feel a particular tension in the air. Unfamiliar MPT detectives scurried to and fro around the Shibuya office. He pulled one of them aside to get a quick update. An hour had now passed since the kidnapping. There had been one new development. The perpetrator had made a threatening call to the victim's home. He said the following: Tomorrow, 10 a.m., by Hachiko in the Shibuya. Have the sister, Hitomi, bring 50 million yen. If not, the girl's life is forfeit. My hands are down in my lap. Stop that. Kajiwara from the precinct was put on response team along with detectives from elsewhere who'd received special training in abduction cases. Normally, a local precinct detective wouldn't have gone undercover in a victim's home. Kuze, however, had decided that having a knowledgeable local was crucial and had sent Kajiwara along. The detectives disguised themselves as delivery people and movers to make their way inside without arousing suspicion, arriving there at 8:30. The response team had come prepared to run a trace, an act of pinpointing the source of an incoming phone call. The police are not allowed to do this independently without oversight. They must go through a formalized process that includes securing the cooperation of the phone company. In the past, conducting a trace itself would take time, but nowadays, acquiring location can be practically instantaneous. The response team had come prepared to run a trace if the kidnapper contacted the family a second time. But there was no further calls. Kano checked his watch again. 20 minutes had now passed since the time designated for the ransom handoff. The kidnapper had yet to appear. Crap, you think we might have spooked him? He wondered aloud. Hey, stay calm. Sasayama scanned the passing throng. He's just playing with us. Why'd this guy even pick this place? Kano voiced the question he'd been asking himself since he heard the kidnapper's demands. Sasayama shrugged, figured he must want to blend in with the crowd, now nab the money and disappear before anyone knows he's there would be my guess. In that case, why not pick Shinjuku or Ginza? The big crowd just didn't benefit the kidnapper at all. It also allowed police to use the sea of people to conceal their own operation. Right now, there are 50 detectives stationed within a 50-meter radius of where Hitomi stood. The kidnapper would be taking a major risk if his plan was to nab the ransom money and run. That's what bothered Kano. Any criminal with half a brain would know better than to do a handoff in front of Hachiko. You overthinking things, pal, Sasayama grumbled. No, I'm not. Kano reached into his pocket and pulled out his notepad. This was Kano's dick diary. I didn't name this, which he always kept close at hand. I don't know why it's called that. Kano, why do you call it that? I'm sure there's a reason. Sasayama rolled his eyes. That thing again? Kano ignored him, flipping through the notepad pages. Aha, here it is. Tick-tick-dum 89. What? Oh! Dick as in detective. Not dick as in dick. Dick as in detective. Got it. The more relevant something seems, the more relevant it's bound to be. They're obviously making the joke of it being dick as in dick, not dick as in detective. That's really fucking funny. Okay, I like the writing in this. That's clever. That's clever. It was a favorite saying of Kyuzo Tateno, an assistant inspector from the Shibuya precinct. Tateno was the kind of detective Kano aspired to be. Yeah, I love this game already. For the current operation, he'd been placed in charge of Hitomi's personal safety. He was in a position to defend her as soon as the ransom had been handed off. Of course, Hitomi had been informed of how much protection she was under. There was a risk that if she acted too secure, it might alert the kidnapper. I think Tateno has the right idea. Sasayama snorted quietly. Maybe. I mean, he's a great detective. Don't get me wrong. But do you know how many irrelevant things there are to consider? Again, Kano ignored him. It didn't matter if nobody else understood. Kano had faith in Tateno, both as a detective and as an individual. He had first witnessed Tateno's brilliance during a standoff at a financial company 3 years earlier. A man had shut him in an office, splashing gasoline everywhere and threatening to set the place ablaze. Sorry. I'm throwing a shawl over my shoulders, so hopefully it stops being like, why are hands up there? So hopefully that'll help. While the others hesitated, Tateno unflinchingly doused himself with gasoline and strode into the building, where he managed to talk the man down and secure the scene. Why would you douse yourself in gasoline? What was the point of dousing yourself in gasoline to talk a man down? The others had been awestruck by Tateno's actions, and Kano, who at the time had been content to be a run-of-the-mill policeman, had found it quite inspiring. Okay, yeah, he's that manly. Still, you know. Sasayama murmured under his breath. As great a detective as Tatano is, it's not like anyone else in the world's ever heard of him. I suppose not, Kano said, so... Only time anyone hears a cop's name's if he's caught up in some scandal or killed in the line of duty. I mean, doesn't really seem fair, does it? Kano just shrugged. It was a strange definition of unfair, really. I mean, you've got a celebrity chefs and celebrity hairdressers and stuff. So how come no celebrity gumshoes, you know? Look, please. Can you just focus on what we're doing here? Kano rubbed his eyes and turned his attention back to Hitomi. What's the matter? Didn't sleep? Not enough, I guess. Did you eat? Didn't have the time. Between bringing in supplies for the base of operation, riding the team's vehicles... We're going to read this. A base of operations is usually set up in a large room at the precinct, such as an auditorium. MPD and precinct investigators assemble there, and communications equipment, investigation resources, and such are brought in. Because of the scale and scope of these activities, newspaper reporters can be liable to notice, and so in such cases as a kidnapping where victims' personal safety is at stake, the flow of information is tightly controlled. Photocopying hundreds of documents and various other tasks. My hands are in my lap. Fine. Kano had barely slept the previous night and hadn't got a meal in either. What have you been doing? Sasayama puffed out his chest. Saving up my energy for today. So you were sleeping. Kano gave a wry chuckle at his partner's lack of shame. There he is. Kusei's verse chirped suddenly through Kano's earpiece. A man in his 20s, wearing a sleeveless red jacket. He's carrying a garbage bag. A young man had emerged from the crowd, about 15 feet from where Hitomi was standing. He strode towards her, a sinister look on his face. He didn't match Hitomi's description, but Kano felt a jolt of nerves all the same. Maybe the kidnapper had hired some young street punk to snatch the ransom payment. That our guy? What do you think, Kano? Sasayama whispered. Yeah, I think he's gotta be. This was it? Kano swallowed the lump in his throat. Bent his knees, ready to act fast. Blood rushed to his leg muscles, banishing the stiffness that had begun to take hold. Could this be the culprit? Or perhaps... The young man tried to snatch the briefcase from Hitomi, but she clung to it with desperate strength. It was him. The detectives rushed in. Whoa, hey, what the hell? The young man cried out frantically and tried to dart away, but the officers closed in, forcing him bodily to the ground. Target secured. Oh geez, I think we've got another suspect on the scene. Ugh, he's taken the ransom. Kusei's hysterics made Kano spin around. Sure enough, a foreign-looking man was sprinting away, attaché case in hand. The mob of detectives scrambled to pursue. Before Kano could react, most of them had run off, leaving him to look after the original suspect. What should I do with this guy, sir? He might have some connection to the kidnapper. Should I bring him in? Huh? Oh, sure, that'd be swell. I'm on it. With help from the remaining detectives, Kano brought the suspect back to Shibuya Precinct. Look, how many times do we have to go through this? Cut the crap. In the interrogation room, the young man who gave his name as Akechi Endo steadfastly insisted on his innocence. Then why'd you try to steal that case? Kano watched Akechi's face intently. Like I said, it looked healthy, so I was just trying to help her out. It wasn't inconceivable that a young guy would want to help a pretty girl, but Hitomi had just been standing there, hardly in desperate need of assistance. She hadn't set the case down, so I figured it had to be There had to be something important inside. An entry from Kano's dick... Fucking game. An entry from Kano's dick diary shot through his mind. Dick dictum number 25. When the tongue slips, grab it and yank out the chair. I'm sorry, I have the humor of a 5-year-old. It's bad. Ah, no! Why are you here now? I'm Mr. Bukel. Welcome to watching me laugh at dick jokes. The game named it the Dick Diary. I didn't name Dick Dictum. It's Kano's Dick Diary. I have the humor of a 5-year-old. So, hi, how are you doing? Oh my gosh, I'm gonna take a sip of water before we continue. God damn it. I have the humor of a 5-year-old. It's real bad. Classic advice for questioning. Something important you say, such as, "How the heck would I know?" Akechi spat. He huffed and slumped back in his chair. The standard textbook back and forth had been going on for nearly an hour. Kano didn't mind. Chasing down criminals was all well and good, but questioning suspects was another key part of the job. Plenty of the off-scene work went into cracks. Plenty of off-the-scene work went into cracking a case. Once again, he had Akechi explain what he'd been doing starting from the beginning. Thank you. Thank you for the Kirby spam. They are very pretty. Well, you came in time for dick jokes, so I mean it was good timing. When Kano finally emerged from an interrogation room for a short break, he learned that there had been some progress on the case at the crime scene. What the police hadn't been able to determine yet was whether or not Maria was safe. Fighting back his anxiety, Kano consulted his dick diary. Dick dictum number 54. Haste makes waste. He felt his tension subside, remembering the right maxim always helped it. It was like casting a magic spell. Kano returned to confront Akechi once more. You were there to act as a distraction, to mess up the investigation, weren't you? Huh? Akechi looked a bit dumbfounded. What are you on about? Dick dictum number 55. The truth hungers to be free. Fucking, this book is like the entire comedy in this, and I can't get over it. Oh. I finally got what was plugging my nose. Do I keep calling him Akechi? Do I? I might be. That's possible. Which is probably wrong. I'll read his name again once I see it. You hungry? Got some katsudon if you like. Katsudon. Now I want katsudon. Katsudon's really good. Japanese dish consisting of a bowl of white rice topped with breaded pork cutlet and an egg. There are several variations, such as sauce katsudon, where the egg is replaced with Worcestershire. No! Why would they put that word in this game? Worcestershire sauce. No. And miso katsudon, where the pork is stewed in miso. Not typically the sort of thing a policeman offers a suspect during an interrogation. This could be seen as baiting with food and is to be avoided. I probably am calling Akechi. Worcestershire. Worcestershire. I'm gonna give up on that. Yeah, I keep calling him Akechi. Akechi's not right. Achi? Achi. Achi nodded silently. Achi devoured the bowl of katsudan with gusto. He looked like he hadn't eaten in a while. Alright then, spill it. What's this guy after? Achi just shrugged. I don't know. He murmured as a thick slice of egg-laden pork now between his teeth. How many accomplices do you have? Kano asked. But Achi just shook his head as he inhaled his food. Resignedly, Kano flipped once through his notebook once more. Let's see. Number 115. Use the lights to your advantage. As the maze took path, he found himself referring to his book again and again, trying a dozen different methods to tease out whatever his suspect might be hiding. The experience began strangely surreal, their two voices echoing hollowly in the interrogation room. Eventually, Kano looked at the clock and realized the questioning had been going on for nearly 5 hours. He still hadn't made any headway. What was he supposed to do next? Tatano would know, but he sure didn't. Still, he was determined to do whatever he could to keep the victim and her family safe. Grinding his teeth in frustration, he perused the Dick Diary like it was a scripture. Number 116. The monotonous questioning was clearly tiring Achi out. His eyelids drooped like they were beginning to get heavy. Number 117. Get them when they're tired. Kano's eyes gleamed. You're part of some criminal gang, huh? Achi's head slumped forward heavily. Nodding off is basically the same as nodding yes, right? Kano! No! Motherfucker. Mr. Kuze, I did it. The young guy we grabbed at the handoff site, he finally confessed to the crime. What? What are you talking about? Kuze laughed in disbelief. We're just up apprehend the mastermind here. Huh? Kano clutched the cell phone, dumbstruck. Listen, why don't you, look, just wait there at HQ, okay? Oh, it can't be. After the kidnapping case wrapped up, Kano tendered his resignation. Guess I'm not cut out to be a detective after all, he thought to himself. Oh, Kano! He dropped the Dick Diary on his desk as he left the Shibuya precinct for the last time. Oh, Kano! Bad end. Number 1, so long, Shibuya. Kano wound up at a bad end. However, this does not mean that the choice he made for Kano was the wrong one. One of the other protagonists, Achi Endo, has an impact on Kano's fate here, so he can avoid a bad end by making proper decisions in another character's story. For a detailed hint, check the tip by underlining the bad end title, press X, then... Kano had every reason to suspect Achi Endo, but arresting him turned out to be a mistake. If Achi hadn't approached Hitomi, this wouldn't have happened. Try playing Achi's story up to 10:30 and make a choice that keeps him from going up to her. If you do that, Kano won't even have a chance to arrest him, and things should play out differently. This is gonna be neat! Shit! I'm excited! So we have to control all these characters' stories to get the good end. Oh, I'm excited. Yeah, this is gonna be neat. I need to blow my nose again. Yeah, okay. This is gonna be neat. Let's follow Achi's story. Okay. Oh, this is gonna be neat. Whoa! I'm sorry, I didn't sign up for this. Achi, put your shirt on. Thank you. Achi Endo called out at the door to his father's room. Okay, I'm heading out. Sure. His father sounded unconcerned. He didn't even open the door. Sure you don't want me to stay here in the shop? It's not like we're gonna get any customers. Achi grimaced. Yeah, I guess not. The drawer by the front door held a stack of heavy-duty trash bags. Achi pulled a few of them out. Guess it's gonna be that kind of day. He stuffed the trash bags into his pocket and slipped on his favorite pair of sneakers. The entryway to Achi's home also led into the family shop. Various pieces of electronics were piled up like so much junk in the tiny retail space. A slight bump brought a risk of an avalanche. Achi wove his way through the gaps in appliances like a spelunker exploring a cave. From Shibuya Station, if you make your way past 109 building, then up through Dogenzaka, you'll come across an old shopping district. Nestled in its outskirts is Endo Electronics, in the same place it's been for decades. Within its dimly lit interior, you'll find rows of wares all caked in dust. At a glance, you may well assume the place was closed. A mom-and-pop place like Endo's couldn't compete with big consumer chains booming throughout Shibuya. So far, the store had remained in business thanks to locals who appreciated that they made house calls to do repairs. But things weren't looking good for the future. Achi, the eldest son and nominal successor to the business, had no interest whatsoever in working there. Achi stepped out of the shop and into the sunny morning air. The good weather lifted his spirits. Alrighty, time to do this. He unfurled one of the big garbage bags, which caught the wind and fluttered like a cape. Then he slowly made his way towards Shibuya Station, scanning his surroundings all the while. Sheesh, this place is filthy. He paused to pick up a plastic bottle that had been tossed on the ground. Then, with a heavy sigh, he slipped the crushed receptacle into his trash bag. He'd been picking up trash around town like this for about 6 months now. He'd gotten so that the sort of garbage most people would hardly notice stood out to him like a sore thumb. Most days he'd fill his trash bags to the top by the time he made it from his house in Dogenzaka to the train station. Today he was halfway to the station when Win-Win's anxious voice caught his attention. I'm sorry. I'm in a bit of a hurry here. He looked up and saw a timid-looking woman being confronted by 2 men, one with brown hair and one with black. From the look of them, he guessed the men were scouts from some hostess club. He ran into this sort of thing pretty frequently on his trash-cleaning walks around town. Another kind of trash to take care of. I love Achi now. Oh, be nice to me. I'm getting better. Achi quickly interposed himself between the girl and the 2 recruiters. Hey, can't you see that you're bothering her? Huh? Who the hell are you? The 2 men glared. Take a hike, pal. Achi stood his ground. Look, she ain't interested. You're just gonna have to find some other mark. The hustler's annoyance turned into an open rage. Well, listen you. Got a bit of a mouth, huh, buddy? Yeah, she's a hero. Probably a dumb one, but a hero. The brown-haired thug smacked his lips around his chewing gum like a dog wearing a bone. How about we take this someplace more quiet? What? What this means can depend on the person speaking. To a young woman, let's go someplace more quiet, might suggest a cafe or park, but to a street punk, it might mean an alley where passerbys are unlikely to interrupt. The girl stood by, uneasily watching the goings-on. Hey, take it easy. I'm looking for trouble. Is that supposed to be an apology? On your knees and beg, pal. The man spat his gum on the ground. Achi looked down at the glistening wad of glum on the sidewalk. His last shred of goodwill vanished. You better pick that up right now. What? Did you hear me? 'Cause I told you to get down on your knees and back. Achi's hand shot out, grabbing the man by the jaw. Whoa, whoa, easy, pal. The other man's bravado drained from his face. Achi tightened his grip on the brown-haired hustler's jaw. Yep, very dumb. I love him. Sweat dripped from the man's reddening brow. Yeah. The man struggled, but Akechi just tightened his grip. Gum's a real pain-ass to clean up after it's gotten stuck to the street, you know. Ever stop to consider that? Wait, are you... The other hustler's panicked eyes had fixed on Achi's chest. Gah! Oh crap! That shirt, man! The guy's voice was starting to break. That's mean clean! The guy with the mean clean shirt, carrying around a trash bag. That means you're... His face went pale. Huh? Mean clean? That was the man's echoes words through the held-shut jaw, tears welling up in his eyes. Get it right, pal. Achi clenched the man's jaws harder still. I love Achi! It's mean clean. Ow, 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 ow. We're sorry, man. You're Achi, right? Dude, we honestly had no idea. Come on, man, you gotta cut us some slack. The man scrabbled to snatch the wad of gum off the street, stuffing it in his pants pocket. Ew. Finally, Achi let go of his companion. The brown-haired hustler's face was twisted up with fear, tears streaming down his cheeks. Gasping out hasty apologies, the two thugs scampered off. Hey, so... A shy smile came to the girl's face. Ryoko Kakinuma. Ryoko Kakinuma, a second-year student at Midoriyama Academy's law school. These hustlers managed to corner her while she was on her way to a part-time job at a cafe. It's popular plot in trashy e-novels for the main character to fall in love with a hustler like these guys, but such things are rarely to happen in real life. I love this game so far. This is going great. Thank you for saving me. No, I apologize. Huh? The girl stared in surprise. You'll run to creeps from that like now on and then, but don't hold it against us. Shibuya's a good town. Oh, yeah, okay. Achi gave her a quick wave, then turned and continued on his way down Dogenzaka. Achi was Shibuya born and raised. He was keenly aware of all the changes the ward had seen since he was a kid. Grocery stalls and inconspicuous little side streets, tiny parks nestled between buildings. Achi knew it all like the back of his hand. Yeah, Achi's an anime protag. I love him. Trash, human or otherwise, had no place in this town, not on his watch. I love him. Achi made his way down towards Shibuya Station. Throngs of people shuffled to and fro across the scramble. The view shifted constantly from one movement to the next, almost as if the city itself were alive. And if the city was a living thing, then Shibuya Station was its heart, with streets like Bunkamura Dori and Center Gai serving as the arteries pumping a bloodstream made of people. Today as ever, the heart was pumping that blood to every nook and cranny of Shibuya. And there was Akachi, just another part of this great urban organism. Guess I'm one of the city's white blood cells. Or wait, Maybe I'm a red blood cell. Hold on. Is that right? Or did I have it right the first time? White blood cells eliminate pathogens from the bloodstream. Red blood cells carry oxygen throughout the body. Achi was probably thinking of white blood cells. Oh my god, I love this game. Emerging from his reverie, he noticed a rather conspicuous young woman standing by the statue of Hachiko outside Shibuya Station. Oh, she's totally my type. Oh no. To be up someone's alley. To be someone's cup of tea? Wow! Wait! That's the description? That's the description? Oh my god. I need to blow my nose. I love this game so much. It doesn't take itself seriously in the best way possible. Wonder if she's a model, or a small-time actress or something. Looks like she's waiting for someone. Probably another guy. Dang. Good looking as she was, there was no way she wasn't already taken. What kind of guy scored a girl like that? Probably rich-ass CEO of an IT company or something. Crouching down to tie off the trash bag, he continued gazing wistfully at the girl. Then he noticed something peculiar. Fuck. She was carrying an attaché case, the kind a businessman might use. It was a large case, apparently so heavy that she struggled to hold it despite using both hands. You've reached a decision point. Let's have Achi not approach Hitomi. Now what kind of person makes a young lady lug around something heavy like that? Achi figured he'd offer to carry it for her. But first I gotta dump this trash. And looked around. He looked around to see if there was a garbage bin nearby. Now, Achi won't approach Hitomi, which means he'll avoid being arrested by Kano. At the same time, Kano's fate will also change. And he will no longer wind up at a bad end. So let's switch back to Kano's story using the time chart. Press triangle to open it. Oh! This time chart, it shows the protagonist's progression throughout the story. Decision points are marked by the arrows. Kano's fate has changed based on Achi's actions. Select Kano's 1030 block, then press X. Oh, this is neat! Wait, you can see everyone's time blocks. Oh, this is neat! I like this game. I suppose you could call it that. Kano gave a wry chuckle at his partner's lack of shame. There he is. Kuze's voice chirped suddenly through Kano's earpiece. Look at him! Look at his face! I'm sorry, look at his fucking face! It's really cool. I am enjoying this a lot. I'm glad I decided to play this today. Previously, Achi got mixed up with Kano and the police, but now another man has appeared instead. By changing what Achi did, you've also changed Kano's story. The man in the black coat, he's not Japanese, looks to be clearly in his 30s. A foreign man had emerged from the crowd, about 15 feet where Hitomi was standing. He made his way toward her, his expression blank. He looks like he hasn't outgrown his emo phase. That's how I describe that face. He looks like he needs to be wearing striped fingerless gloves and black eyeliner. And it's just like, it's not a phase, Mom. He didn't match the description Hitomi had given them, but Kano felt a jolt of nerves all the same. Maybe the kidnapper was using an accomplice to snatch the ransom payment. Alright, Sasayama raised an eyebrow. This may be our guy. This was it. Kano swallowed the lump in his throat. He bent to his knees, ready for action. Blood rushed to his leg muscles, banishing the stiffness that had begun to take hold. Oh, creepy motherfucker. Was this the culprit? Or perhaps... The stranger took hold of the attaché case. It was him. En masse, the detectives began to close in. Let's go, Kano. On it. Sasayama and Kano leapt into action. But they never expected what happened next. With the case clutched in both arms, the man veered suddenly, running right towards them. Well, what's this? Kano's story has suddenly hit a keep out. Keep out refers to a point in the story where your progress is currently stopped. In order to advance beyond a keep out, you need to jump from another protagonist's story. At 10:30, Achi has the text. Young man in a suit, set as red keywords. Checking these red keywords will allow you to jump from Achi's story back to Kano's. Now head back to Achi's stories and keep an eye out for that. Key phrase. Oh, they're doing this. Ah, fuck, this is neat. Huh? A man had come up beside the girl. He was dressed in black, and he wasn't Japanese. It looked like they were having a conversation. The girl nodded tensely at something, and the man said. Achi stared. Something tells me that's not her boyfriend. The girl handed the attaché case over to the man. He took off with it in his right hand and began walking briskly away. Whoa! Nearby, a homeless man suddenly leapt over Achi and broke into a run, has been waiting for this moment. Yuji Sasama, a detective in the Shibuya precinct known as the Cosplay Detective due to the strange outfits he wears while on stakeouts, he's partnered with Shinya Kano for the kidnapping investigation. Sprinting alongside him was the young man in a suit. Some words in text appear in red. Red text denotes important keywords that let you jump between different protagonists' stories. This allows you to shift between characters at specific points. These can also allow you to clear a keep out in another character's story and let you read on. If you come across red text, press X to underline it, then press... I love how I call square X. A window will appear, allowing you to jump from one protagonist to another at that point. Then press X to continue. The other character's stories, after the keep out, give it a try. God, we haven't even got past the tutorial phase yet, and this is gonna be long. It's gonna be good, but it's gonna be long. By performing a jump, you can advance another protagonist story. Ah, this is neat. Let's go, Kano. On it. Sasayama and Kamo leapt into action. Jump successful. For 428, you will often need to jump to get past another character's keep out. Jump from red keywords to clear keep out. Keep in mind as you advance throughout the story. Okay, there won't be... Yeah, okay. We just finished up the tutorial. but they never expected what happened next. With the case clutched in both arms, the man suddenly veered, running right toward him. What? Catching sight of two detectives, the suspect staggered to a halt, then bolted off in a new direction. Kano whipped off his costume and glasses and followed in hot pursuit. At the crosswalk, the signal changed to red, and the flow of foot traffic abruptly halted. Just as quickly, hundreds of cars all lurched back into motion. There was no escape for the culprit now, or so it appeared. The converging cops slowed their pace, confident their man was cornered. Then the foreigner barreled straight into the intersection, dodging between the oncoming cars without any hesitation. The mob of detectives came to a halt, not eager to rush to their deaths along with him. Kano, however, remained in hot pursuit, charging into the traffic at the crossing. Kano! Are you crazy? Come back! Kano heard Sasayama shouting, but his feet kept carrying him onward. With shouts and sirens echoing all together, all around him, Kano closed in on the foreigner. Just a little closer, and he'd be in tackling range. He leaned forward, preparing to pounce, his eyes fixed on the culprit's feet. It was now or never. Kano, back off! Don't take him down! It was Kuze shouting through Kano's earpiece. Huh? Kano hesitated in surprise. Had he really been ordered not to apprehend the criminal? Let him go for now. The real perp is police jargon for a perpetrator. Here, Kuze is referring to the fact that the principal offender in the case must be elsewhere. Is someplace else. What happened to the plan? He'd been told that all personnel were secured to secure the area ASAP. Didn't HQ want them to catch the perpetrator? Arrest team. Police team dedicated exclusively to the task of apprehending the criminal. While a kidnapping case is in progress, the roles of the officers involved are carefully designated so that every officer is ready to take immediate action as the situation develops. Typically, tried and true veteran MPD officers are put in charge of teams for breaking into buildings or apprehending suspects. Arrest team. Stay on the foreigner's tail. Forensics team. Well, you know what forensics does. Get busy cross-referencing photos. Even if this foreigner was only an underling hired for one task, the police had now tipped their hand as to what they'd been lying in wait. If they didn't lock things down now and get more info on the kidnapper, the girl's life might be at stake. Kano recalled another maxim from his Dick diary. Dick Dictum, number 12. Always assume a worst-case scenario. If Kuze had told him to let this guy go, that implied he was counting on the team that was now in position. But if the crook... Oh, I need to blow my nose again. Sorry. If the crook had planned a way to break through the police dragnet and escape with ransom, and he succeeded, that was the right call here. Should he take this guy down or backed off after all? Ooh. Letting the perp escape now is too big of a risk. Let the officers chase after the guy. Kano had his own job to do. Ooh. Does chat have any input? I have my decision. Does chat have any input? So we could either tackle him, or we can trust the rest of the police force to take him down. Nithya, you and I think alike. Kuze's instructions had been clear. Let the other officers chase after the guy. Kano had his own job to do. He broke off his pursuit, pointing the next waves of detectives in the direction the foreigner had fled. Kano had almost gotten close enough to get a good look at the guy's face, but if Kuze had ordered him to let the guy go, well, his boss should know what he was doing. The perp was someone else's problem now. He had just ceased pursuit when Kuze's panicked voice sounded shrill in his ear. Somebody's taken Hitomi! Kano recognized Kuze's trademark squawking immediately. Subject is male, appears to be carrying a gun. He's fleeing in the direction of Meiji-dori. What? Kano could hardly believe it. Hitomi had been kidnapped? Had been abducted by whoever had taken Maria. But why? Someone must have been waiting for the moment when the police took eyes off of her. Something's very wrong here. What in the world is going on? Kano hurried to search for the man who had taken Hitomi. If he was heading towards Meiji-dori, there was a good chance he'd gone down one of the alleyways nearby. After darting through the side streets, he spotted a different man, another foreigner, crossing an intersection a few dozen meters ahead. The man was dressed in black, just like the guy who'd grabbed the ransom money. Kuzu's right, the kidnapper wasn't acting alone. But wait, something was amiss. Hitomi wasn't with him. Where was she? Kano skidded around the corner and stopped short. The man in black was standing there, pointing a gun right at him. Before the Kano could react, the man fired. Oh shit, we got him killed! Oh fuck! Kano felt hot all over, as if we were on fire. All except for his cheek, pressed against the asphalt and the palms of his hands. They felt cold. So cold. There was nothing he could do. Nothing, that is, except lie there and watch as his killer turned around and walked away. Oh shit! Oh shit! It was the right choice to stop the chase, but okay, we're not gonna read the hints. I know I accidentally selected it, but we're not gonna read the hints. Because we can always come back to read the hints. I'm curious what happens after the jump. And seemingly from everywhere, a whole bunch of other guys burst into motion. First one, then another, a third, a fourth, a fifth. Over a dozen now. What the heck? That is the correct response. Clearly something big was going down. Were they after the attaché case? Within moments, Achi lost sight of them all, through the crowd. With how many people chasing him, the guy with the case was sure to get caught. But wait, what about that girl? Achi turned back around. The girl was still there. She was staring in a direction that the man who'd taken the case was gone, a worried expression on her face. Achi couldn't shake the feeling. Another crazy day in Shibuya. Yeah. So the ends are very out of order, so there's a lot of things we can do in this game, and it's going to be very exciting. I don't know if we're gonna get all the endings on stream. We will have to see, but it's possible. Achi, go talk to her. Achi couldn't shake the feeling that something was very wrong. Maybe he should talk to her and ask her what's going on. But just as he was making up his mind, a middle-aged man in ratty business suit shuffled awkwardly over to her first. There was something wrong with one of his legs. He was using a cane to walk. Then one of his hands slipped into his jacket pocket. Achi could scarcely believe his eyes. A revolver? Colt Detective Special, a .3 caliber revolver introduced in 1927 by Colt's Manufacturing Company. A classic example of a snub-nosed revolver. As the name implies, the weapon is frequently carried by detectives, narcotics officers, and the likes for self-defense. Interesting. Suddenly, a young man came running through the crowd. Seeing him, the man who came turned on his heel and vanished into the scramble. Something big was going down. What was all this? The young man was closing in on the girl, and his expression grim. That guy's up to no good. Achi sprang into motion. Yeah! Oh my god, Achi! Leaping high, Achi delivered a flying kick right between the man's shoulder blades. Guy went down and recovered surprisingly fast, spinning back to his feet to grapple with Achi. What the hell is your problem? What the hell's your problem, man? Achi snapped. The two stood staring each other down as the crowd swirled around them. Let go of me. You let go of me first. After you let go of me, sure. You first, pal. Don't call me pal, man. Don't call me man, pal. Fuck, I love this game. Neither man was willing to yield. The crowd had parted to avoid the scuffle. Passerbys were sailing from all sides. Well, crap. Achi got a sudden sinking feeling. What the hell am I even doing? Jumped in over my head as per usual. His anger melted away. He loosened his grip. Without further argument, the other man let go of Achi's jacket. Turning quickly away, the stranger hurried over to the statue of Hachiko, where he dropped his knees, dejected. The girl who'd been standing there was nowhere to be seen. Maybe this is the guy she'd been waiting on? The guy was clearly upset and she was missing. Achi actually kind of felt bad for him. He decided it'd be wise to leave while the guy's attention was elsewhere. Whew. He hurried back along the road to his house. The wind had gone out of his sails and he didn't feel like cleaning up trash anymore. Oh well, I guess I'll read some manga and go to bed. Better play it safe before the day got any worse. Yep, we got another bed end. Tussle was the stranger. Alright, let's do the other option. Oh good, it does let us know which ones we've made. Another crazy day in Shibuya. They had to be shooting a scene for a film on location. It'd probably be a mistake to intrude. Yeah, I bet that's what this is. Some TV show is about a kidnapping, and a girl has to make the handsome Randolph. Yes, ransom handoff. And there's probably some actor looking around here, playing the suave, handsome detective. Achi gave a chuckle and turned away. A soothing breeze blew by as wispy clouds drifted overhead. They picked a nice day for a shoot. Smiling inwardly, he resumed his track-picking mission, wondering what other surprises the day would hold. A few minutes later, he heard a loud bang, and the scramble went into an uproar. Huh, someone blew a tire. Oh, you poor innocent bean. People were running all directions to see what made the sound. Huh, maybe they're shooting an action scene now? Achi was a tad curious, but he strolled away from the scramble without looking back. Maybe head to Yotsuya, a neighborhood of Shinjuku Ward in the southeastern part of Tokyo, located approximately 4 kilometers northeast of Shibuya Station. While the numbers 428 in Japanese can be pronounced the same as the syllables for the name Shibuya, they can also be pronounced like the symbols for Yotsuya. Additionally, April 28th is both Shibuya Day and Yotsuya Day, along with Seniors Day. Yeah, we are going to... Okay, I think there's like not that many good ends in this game. There's probably a lot of bad ends in this game, so you definitely don't need to tell me when I'm heading towards a bad end. This game's gonna be a lot of trial and error. To stretch his legs a bit. It was best not to get distracted. There was trash that needed collecting. Yeah, they're really obvious. They're really, really obvious. Your future is garbage is the name of this one? Oh my god. Alright. So. Let's try the other one this way. Letting the purpose escape now is too big of a risk. You had to catch this guy ASAP. The man darted now down a narrow alleyway. Kano ran faster. The man sprinted through the side streets. Evidently, he knew his way around Shibuya pretty well. Someone's take Hitomi. Kano recognized Kusute's trademark squawk immediately. Subject is male, appears to be carrying a gun. He is fleeing in the direction of Meiji Dori. What? Kano could hardly believe it. Hitomi had been kidnapped? Had she been abducted by whoever had taken Maria? But why? Someone must have been waiting for the moment when the police took their eyes off her. Something's very wrong here. What in the world is going on? Kano saw that the road forked up ahead. The man with the attaché case ran to the left. If the man who'd taken Hitomi was heading towards Meiji Dori, there was a good chance he'd gone down one of the alleyways off to the right. Making a snap judgment, Kano told the detective behind him to follow the case snatcher, then turned and headed down the nearest alleyway. After darting through the side streets, he spotted a different man, another foreigner, crossing an intersection a few dozen meters ahead. The man was dressed in black, just like the one who grabbed the ransom money. Cause he's right, the kid. We've already been here. Yep, we've been here. Interesting. Whoops, we killed him twice. Alright. So we did the approach. Okay. So far, we are actually at a standstill, which is fascinating. Right? I'm trying to think. Because we've made all the decisions. Yeah. I'll raid into your stream if you're going to be streaming after me then. What time do you stream at? Like, how far from now are you going to be streaming? Because I'll just raid into you then. $15? Oh, perfect. That's when I end stream. So, I'll just raid into you. So, we've chosen both of those. There's no other endings I can make there. I've done zero prep. Fair enough. Very fair. Achi decided to go collecting trash because he decided the commotion in Scramble was probably just a TV shoot in progress. He'll probably have a pretty uneventful day, which is well and good for him, but the girl was actually in danger had he decided to investigate further. Okay, so this one's saying... Yeah. So... Yeah, it's telling us we need to make this decision. Okay, we will click through. Whoa, this is new! With a single fluid motion, the man lifted up the gun and pointed it in the girl's direction. This is new! He was aiming right for her head. Huh? The girl had noticed the man with the cane now. Seeing the gun pointed right at her, she froze in fear. Achi didn't hesitate. Breaking into a full run, he tackled the gunman with all his might. Caught off guard, the man sprawled to the pavement. But the would-be assassin kept hold of his weapon and quickly scrabbled back to his feet. Achi knew he had to act fast. He grabbed the ashen-faced girl by the arm and attempted to drag her away. This way, he shouted. She just stared at him, uncomprehending, trembling like a startled animal. Come on, run! Finally, the girl snapped out of her daze and gave a fearful nod. Police box? Let's just get out of here? Ooh. Let's just get out of here. The would-be assassin would be getting back to his feet. Achi grabbed the girl by the hand. Run! Without so much as a backward glance, he led her beneath the railway overpass for the Yamanote line. He needed to get her as far away as possible. Fast. Their best bet was to head towards the east side of the station. It was less crowd there, it'd be easier to run. Don't worry, you can trust me. Dragging the hesitant girl behind him, he took off through the crowd. Suddenly it dawned on him, he still had the trash bag in his other hand. You know, this thing's gonna be a real pain in my ass. Achi paused just long enough to toss the trash into a garbage bin as they passed by a park, then took off again. Someone shouted from behind, "Stop right there!" Achi looked alarmed to see a stranger chasing after them. It was one of the guys from the crowd who had run after the Tasha case snatcher. You gotta be kidding me! Now he's chasing us? Whoever he was young and fit and gaining fast. Realizing the girl could never outrun this guy, Achi stopped abruptly. Shielding her behind him, he turned to face the stranger. Why did you run off? Because you were chasing us. The other fellow eyed Achi skeptically. Maybe he was a buddy of the man with the cane. Keeping his guard up, Achi began to back away. Look, just let the girl go. The guy was acting like he knew her. Achi glanced back, but the girl only shook her head, wide-eyed. The other man's posture shifted, preparing to lunge. But as Achi braced himself for a scuffle, something came crashing down upon the stranger's head. Gah! His eyes wobbled and spun in their sockets as he collapsed in a heap on the ground. And there, standing behind him... Yeah! Was the girl he helped earlier, the one he'd saved from the hustlers. Hey, you're that girl from the morning. Are you okay? Next to the falling pursuers was a rather thick book. She nodded toward it. He looked dangerous, so I just threw that at him. Oh yeah, thank you. This saves my bacon big time. The least I could do after the way you helped me earlier. Sure thing. You should probably get out of here before that guy comes to. Like you said, he's probably dangerous. Right. Achi scooped up the heavy book and handed it to the girl, who promptly left the scene. Now we better get out of here. The girl nodded. They started down the street to only see the man with the cane round the corner and a few dozen meters ahead. Oh, this is not good. The assassin had spotted them and he hurried in their direction. This way. Achi led the girl into a nearby alleyway. But this way's a dead end, the girl said breathlessly. Like I said, just trust me. Stopping abruptly, Achi kicked down the wooden plank covering a gap between two buildings, clearing a space that a person could fit through. See, we can get away through here. In you go. But the girl just stood there, looking terrified. What's the matter? Achiga asked. Come on, we gotta hurry. But I... She looked at him if he too was about to pull a gun on her. He could hardly blame her. After all, it was just some random guy who had turned up out of nowhere. But there was no time for dawdling. The man with the cane appeared at the end of the alley. He just stood there. He was going to catch them. Okay, sweetheart, hear me out, he said in a rush. Name's Achi Endo. I live in the neighborhood, and I'm not the kind to stand idly by when a girl's being chased by some killer. So please, trust me, and I'll do my best to keep you safe. He hoped the look in his eyes could convince her he was being on the level. After a painfully long moment, the girl nodded her acceptance. Phew. Right, let's start with this. They had paused between an enormous stack of beverage crates. With a quick shove, Achi knocked the whole pile down, sending it cascading across their pursuer's path. Now that was a close call. The man with the cane was floundering, struggling to get past the falling crates. My bad, man, Achi called out. Mind cleaning that up for me? The man scowled at them and fumbled for his gun. Achi flashed him away goodbye, then slipped away between the buildings with the girl. Yeah, we chose this before and we got something different. Hurrying down a narrow alleyway, they emerged onto a side street lined with dive bars and clubs. Assuming the man with the cane hadn't given up, he'd probably lie in wait on the path back to the main road. Achi decided that best was to try and stay inconspicuous rather than risk getting caught on the move. Guess we can lie low here for a bit, he said. He led the girl to the entrance of a tiny old hostess club. She followed him in reluctantly. Achi flicked the switch inside the front door, and his chintzy chandelier glowed to life. He sat the girl down on the small sofa beside the counter. She gave him a worried look. Achi felt a pang of embarrassment as he realized what she must be thinking. Oh, no, don't get the wrong idea. I'm not trying any funny business. Someone I know used to run this place. It's not in business anymore, so I figured we're safe in here. The girl chuckled his evident discomfort. All right then, she said. So, we good? We're good. Okay, oh, well, good. Achi made a vague attempt to straighten his disheveled clothes. So, how about some introductions? I'm Achi Endo, like I said earlier. You can just call me Achi. I'm Hitomi Osawa. You can call me Hitomi, I guess. With each new word out of Hitomi's mouth, Achi felt his heart sing. She was charming, personal, just about everything about her was captivating. Achi had never met another girl like her. Achi? Is something the matter? You were spacing out there for a bit. Achi shook his head to dispel his daze. Damn it, this is no time to get all starry-eyed. He needed to think of some way to keep her safe from the guy who was after her. Look, can you tell me what the heck is going on? Please, I need to know if I'm gonna help you. Right, okay. I'm not really sure where to begin. Hitomi looked down, lost in thought. Apparently hers was a long story. Alright, she said at last. I guess I'll just explain things as they happened. Wait, hold up. Could you keep it as simple as you can? I mean, I'm not really the sharpest tool in the shed. Complicated explanations aren't exactly my strong suit. Okay, Hitomi chuckled. I'll try my best. She got comfortable and then started her story. So last night, somebody abducted my sister. The kidnapper demanded that I make the ransom handoff personally. He told me to stand by the statue of Hachiko in Shibuya at 10 o'clock in the morning and make the exchange. So I did, and this man came by... Whoa, I'm sorry, hold up a sec. Come on, Achi was reading that. Took the attache case with the money, and then afterwards, the other guy with the cane turned up and pointed his gun at me, and... Achi had suddenly lost the thread of conversation. At times like this, you can press the buttons to go back and reread what you've already seen. You can also press down to quickly scroll back through selections you've already read. A mark will appear in the upper corner of the screen while you're paging back and forth like this, and you can press X to reread the marked page. Could you say that again, but like simpler? Huh? Sure. I'm just having trouble following, is all. I mean, is this a plot of some movie or soap opera? No, that's not. Is some kind of hidden camera show? This is real. It really happened. The look in Homie's eyes was dead serious. She's gotta be telling the truth. What would be the point of lying? And then... Who? And he had seen the attache case and the gunman himself. How much was the ransom, if you don't mind me asking? Hitomi hesitated. 50 million yen, she said after a moment. Achi gave a whistle of amazement. The detectives told me that it was a typical amount for a kidnapper to ask for. It's plenty, that's for sure. I guess there's good money in that sort of thing. As soon as the words were out, he realized his blunder. Sorry, I shouldn't have put it that way. He fidgeted awkwardly and Hitomi looked away. I'm an idiot, but okay, I think I get this kidnapper thing. So I'm guessing those guys who chased the guy who took the ransom were undercover cops. He played the scene in his head. But then, the kidnapper took the attache case and ran, right? So if you're empty-handed, why did the guy with the cane come after you? I'm honestly not sure. Hitomi's words trailed off. This was clearly difficult for her to talk about. Anyway, we should probably get you to police as soon as we... No, we can't do that. Hitomi's tone was resolute. I can't take this to the police. Why not? Achi waited for an answer, but none came. After a long and awkward silence, she stood up from her seat. I really appreciate the help, but I should go now. She gave Achi a deep bow. Hold on, what do you mean go? Go where? He hurried to intervene as she headed for the door. I don't want to cause you any more trouble. I'll figure the rest out on my own, somehow. Hey, I said hold on. Hitomi ignored him and opened the door, and their argument came to an abrupt halt. Ah, fuck. Standing there was the man with the cane, his revolver in his hand. Oh, fuck. To be continued? Well, hey guys, that is the perfect moment to end the stream though. So, thank you all for coming, thank you all for watching. I hope you enjoy the series because I'm really enjoying it. We are going to see if Nithya is live. If not, we'll waste a few. Nope, Nithya is live. Wonderful. So, we will raid over to Nithya's chat. And I will see you all on Wednesday for Undertale. Alright. I need to set up my raid. Where is it? Creator dashboard. There it is. Alright. Goodbye, y'all!